No, it's like, I guess it goes into white homes. They're worried about that a lot.
What is it? Yeah, it's funny. Glenn Barrett, our associate producer, our sometime producer, is black, and Carmen Matias is
You have to be colored to be on television.
Colored?
Yes, you can't be black. You have to have a little color in there. Just a taste.
Tad.
Yeah, just to keep it interesting for America.
Yeah. Well, she said, we were talking about your humor, that your humor offends white people. And I'm not that easily offended. Like, I'm not coming for a spot where Richard Pryor is going to offend me. I think you have humor that makes us see a lot of the truth and laugh at things we wouldn't normally laugh at. I think that's part of what you're doing. What do you think that these executives are afraid you're going to do to white America?
Probably stop some racism.
Stop racism?
Yeah. I'm probably afraid of that, because then people don't hate each other. And people start talking to each other, and then they start talking to each other, they find out who's the problem.
Which is?
Greedy people.
Greedy? I have a couple things I want to ask you.
Right now, we got to think about what's going on, because look at it. We got most of these people who are in power acting as tyrants. They telling you what to do, where to stand, when to talk. These people are crazy. And we have to understand that this is where racism comes in, because racism is not only about color, it's also about social division as well. You know what I mean? Socialism is racism as well, because it's like you put in a certain class of people here against a certain class of people there. So the genocide is within the society before it even reaches to it being society against the government. And that's what they create. So we have to recognize that this is what they're creating. They have been creating this type of characteristic to be in the population of the masses for many years, okay? And this does a lot of things, because the reason why they do this, all right, and to keep us so distracted about looking after them, is because we will finally be talking and figuring out who the problem and what the problem is, so we can get the solution. They don't never want us to figure out what the problem is. They want to be the ones to figure out what the problem is. This is why you have the word that is called government. I mean, when you look at it, it is just men governing men. Okay? Look at the word. We'll break it down. Government or government. Okay? So, before there was a government, I'm pretty sure a lot of people remember how law was. People who used to just govern themselves. It was a free state, free, everything was just free. Every man handled their land, they claimed their own rights and stuff like that as a human. That's how they did it. But what happened is that an age of consciousness has shifted to where you have some sinister type of people being born or being brought into this world or into the realm that you were peacefully in, that brought this type of thing that eluded the reality of being a free human. Because they just, when I say they, we mean, you can tell what we're talking about and who we're talking about. It has to be the men who are governing us or governing the whole mentality or the whole world and the whole world's mentality with this style and type of takeover strategy. So it was a bunch of bandits or crooks that figured out that let's all get together. Notice it. Notice how military and all of this stuff is formed. Let's get together and let's start to do a takeover. Let's take over this land here, that land there, that one there. Let's do that. Let's put our money together and come up with a bank system where, you know, people have to come to us for loans. This is what they did. Instead of people being able to do stuff and trade amongst themselves, you had these men who were these bandits who were going around and they were governing men. Okay? So from governing the men and the women, because you can govern women too, because once you govern the men, who's the head of the house, then the woman has to follow. If he's weak to the governing of these men who are bandits, who are crooks, who are full of lies and secrets, these are the men that govern everything now. The governed men. You put the T on it, now you have government. That's govern the mentality, or the govern the woman mentality. Because now the government operates off of fear and fear-mongering tactics. Because if you look at it, actually all of the leaders, even right around the world, they run their country in fear. Now, what I'd like to argue is this. If you're real and you're a person of your word and you're dealing with a place, business, person, family, operations, everything, you're dealing with it transparently where people can see there's no secrets, there's no hidden agenda. Everybody knows what you're going to do and they're okay with what you're going to do. There's no opposition. Okay? This is if you're running the country that way, transparently, then no one will be upset with you. No one will want to know why you're hiding and why you can't do this and why we can't see that and why we can't go there and explore. This is a free world. The whole land, everything was just occupied by people, and people were able to go where they want. And all of a sudden you have these bandits, these crooks. They're currently here in our time now. We just don't know exactly who they are. They're starting to come forward. They're starting to, be surfaced. But we'd like to find them, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people would like to see some of these elites and do something terrible. Okay? Now, we're not making any threats, but it's time for y'all to stop doing what y'all doing. And this is a serious call for all people who have a voice, because they're running their countries in fear. Fear that someone's going to do a bomb attack. Fear if someone's going to spy about their operation. Fear that, the people are going to turn against them because they know what these governed men are doing. Okay? These governing men type of activities have been being adopted by different countries through cultures of seeing how countries are being run by these people who do this the governing of men. So it's important that we understand that. How can you have a leader who's fearful? I mean, come on. Let's all just put your thinking caps on. Let's think about this. If you have a leader, that leader shouldn't be fearful of anything. He should be a leader. I don't know a scared leader. Come on. Every leader that was or became a leader, he became or she became a leader because she was not scared. She wasn't fearful of anything that could happen, because what? She's a leader. She knows what to do. Now, these people who are running countries, okay, and being prime ministers, they're scared of what? What are you scared of? Most of these countries that are being run by these one, person at the top, what is this one person at the top scared of? What are they pushing the fear of down to their people? Okay? Oh, they're scared of China invading the United States with nuclear weapons, or they're afraid of spies from Russia. They're afraid of genocide between black and white. They're afraid of the people rebelling and turning against them. That's the number one thing that the government or the governing of men, these people who do the governing of men, what they are afraid of is that they were all involved in slavery. They were all involved in, let's not say the direct contact of slavery, but they were involved in the way how to govern men, which when you governing some men, then you actually putting people in bondage because they're being governed by you. Give them their free will as what they used to have. People used to open and carry and walk around with guns because that was their free will and right to do, to protect themselves away from who? Well, they weren't really protecting themselves. People used to carry guns to go hunting. But then when you have these men who are bandits who are trying to take over and become these governing bodies of men, then you have to now protect yourself away from these people because you don't want to fall within their trap of being such, the fearful thing. Look at the police of today. They grab their guns and they talk about, oh, they're doing this to protect themselves. Like, you got the gun. Why you want to protect yourself? I'm a citizen, chilling, doing my thing. I'm just walking around, whatever. But yet and still, you come up to me, I probably can't video here. You're saying I can't video. Well, there's no law against videoing. You know what I mean? There's no law against free speech and, overseeing and seeing an arrest take place. There's no law against that. So why is it that the police are so fearful when they see someone video camera and they tell people to go away or go step aside or go across the street? And they want to be in big confrontations with these people, think these people don't know their rights. And then they're fearful. This is for her safety or my safety or his safety. This is what these police say whenever oh, don't reach in your pocket. What you reaching? You already got a gun. How can you feel unsafe with a gun? You ain't no leader. You don't belong in that position. We need you to step down. We need some people up there that can walk through communities and got respect and don't have to draw their gun for every time someone makes a little shift or a jump. That's a punk. Okay? I don't know where y'all was raised, and I don't know where everybody in this world was raised, but I'm sure mama never raised no fool or no punk. So why we got all these fearful people in the police force, in the military? What are these? See, because fear is what causes people to act. Fear makes people do stuff without remorse. Because if I'm scared for my life, I'm going to kill you, right? If I'm scared for my life, I'm going to hurt you, right? If you scared for your life, what you going to do? You're going to run or you're going to try to protect yourself, and you may hurt or kill me too. This is what fear does. So why be fearful? First of all, you don't supposed to be afraid of anybody. You don't supposed to be afraid of nothing. You ain't supposed to be afraid of anything, period. Okay? Yourself, your higher self is within you. So even this body right here, if they do anything to it, crack it, break it, beat it down, they free your mind. This body is nothing. Once this body is gone, you'll be back. Now that's a hypothesis and that's a theory. We don't know, but I'm sure life is a cycle and it's a constant circle that goes around. You live, you experience, you die. You live, you experience, you die. You go again, you come back again. This is how it goes. Okay? According to conscious thinking and truthers and people who have studied these type of things, I've never personally met anybody who said they lived 2 or 3, 4, 500 centuries ago and they're back. I never felt that. I never saw that. I mean, I'm not gonna, sit here and lie and tell y'all that, but what we know and what we feel from our observatory knowledge, observatory reality and synchronicity is that there's a way that we feel. Okay, so the things that we feel are directly connected to that higher power within the self. And if those feelings are being projected through this energy, then okay, then what the feeling that you're getting or that vision that you're getting of who you may have been back in the past or who was your ancestors, if that's what your mind is compelling you to feel and trust and believe, then that possibly may be where you are from. So these things right here, as far as fear, is not supposed to be in the minds of kings and queens. We're not fearful. We rule countries. We rule. We don't govern. Kings and queens, they rule. They don't govern. Okay? Because to govern, they have sinister things behind the fact that you have to govern the body of men. Men can have their own thoughts. They can think for themselves. They can do for themselves. Why do we need some men above men? I understand that y'all, we were lack of knowledge and we didn't have certain things that, would give us the tools to be successful at one point in time, but eventually we're gonna learn. So why do I need you to govern me now that I have learned all of this? Do you want me to stay in the stage? But then this goes back to the Bible. Why does God want to keep you not knowing that you was naked? Why does God want to keep you not knowing? You got to stay away from the tree of knowledge and good and evil and the tree of life. Like, who wouldn't be enticed to go to such a tree? I don't care who you are. I'm a baby. I don't know nothing. I'm going to try. And then just because of that and that intuition from our free will that was given to us by the Creator, now we in sin. So this fear that was created was from the beginning, from God telling us that we're not supposed to know. That was wrong. So once you're not supposed to know something, then we know that there's something wrong. Okay? The white man kept us away from reading. Okay? Reading the Bible, okay, was probably the only thing we could have done at that time. Okay? But they also kept that to a limited nature as well, because we couldn't read for long periods of time. And then this is also why the Bible is read so choppily. When I say choppily, I'm using a word that I made up. I don't know if it even exists, and I don't care. But we understand what I mean. Choppy. Very choppily. Because the pastor reads a book from Revelation, then he goes to a book from Job, then he jumps to a book in Psalms, then how am I supposed to understand it? No. We never had pastors, as I said, that came from, January and say, let's read the books from Genesis to Revelation and we reach there by December, so that we can get a full understanding of the full book. Never. Okay, y'all? So these little things right here, y'all gotta understand. Fear, get that out your head. We're not scared of nothing. Like, come on, when it comes down to certain things, I'm sure y'all could be empowered. Number one, y'all know kings and queens do not govern. Kings and queens rule. You give rules and guidelines. That's what the crown does. The crown shows the rule right away. Once you see that king crown, you know, okay, there's rules. And he ain't got to govern you. You go and look at the rules for yourself. These men who are doing government, now they take it to government, the prefix of mentality. They govern your mentality and coerce your thoughts, cause you to think certain ways, cause you to act certain ways and do certain things that you normally wouldn't do. Why? Because they're governing your mentality. Come on, stand up. Don't govern my mentality. I don't want no thoughts jumbling in my head. I don't want all of that. I don't want to be thinking fearful that someone's going to come and rob me. I want to think liberated and strong and feel confident. Don't give me the thoughts of fear. This is what y'all are doing. Fear. Push fear. Push fear. People be scared. They'll be so scared they'll listen to anything you tell them. That's what fear does. Wake up. That's what fear does. Come on. So the less fear you have in your heart, the stronger you're going to be, the more consciousness you will raise, the more things you will research and study, the more things you will enhance your mind and your brain and your body about, the more things that you will see for yourself by what? Not being governed. Okay? Hear what they're saying? Yep. But don't let them govern you, because guess what? Governing is wrong. Governing a man is wrong. A man can govern himself and himself and his circumference. So we got to understand that. So when they govern the man, the woman have to follow, or she left on her own, and they talk about 1%. There's always a rate of what? 1% of fatherless homes in the black community. You know what I mean? Or probably even more than that. Why? Because y'all govern the men, leave the women on their own. Because the men have to follow the system in order to get through, to be able to take care of the woman. Govern the men, okay? Leave the woman on her own. Because the woman has to follow the man. Okay? Y'all take the man, put him in the system. He's locked up, he's in jail, you know? He's working for you. So this is the thing that we have to understand. Living in fear, this tactic of fear mongering, come on, wake up people, get up. Don't be fearful of nothing. Understand you are human. Even before rights that were written on paper, you are human and you have rights. You have rights to talk, to feel, to have a religion if you feel, to have a thought. You have a right. If that alone is your unwritten rule and right of nature, live up to it, because that right there alone is needed and essential to keep us strong. Okay? Remember, we're kings and queens. We're not politicians. We're not people who just come around and want to govern men. We're kings and queens who want to rule. We're supposed to rule a whole world, that a world understands how certain policies and certain things is done. So this is what they're afraid of. So they deal with all of their all of their authoritative figures. They're scared of something. They're scared. You know what the scared is? Because they know they hid all of the knowledge. They know that they were slave masters and they were part of it, and they know that the KKK and all these groups that they brought up to oppress blacks and coloreds and other racial minorities, they know. So that's why they tighten up with their pocketbooks when we walk in. I could walk in with a suit, or I could walk in with some cut-off shorts on and some slippers. Either way, they clutching person. Yeah, either way, they're clutching purses, and y'all know what I'm talking about. So understand what I'm saying. It's all good. I'm keeping this one short. Bless y'all, you know what I mean? Try to stay up, try to stay woke, get it together. No fear. That's what this whole thing is all about. Fear so you can stop talking. Fear so they can say, okay, no more freedom of speech. Censoring people for talking the truth. Fear because they found out in certain researches that viruses ain't like what they are making it out to be. Fear because people are now talking out about the things that were wrong. This is what they're afraid of. Okay, they're hurrying up because they're seeing that we uncovering. This is the age of consciousness, okay? So everybody's waking up to all of what they're going on with, and then that's a wrap. So, peace. Take it easy. Do what y'all do. Get at me. Comment section. Y'all know I'm doing these things, and I hope that y'all going to be following so that we can do this more often. Knowledge reigns supreme.